Book 2, A Journey to Real Freedom, Part 15. Sweetie, you just had a bad dream. It's okay. So go back to sleep, she said, rather tired sounding. Yes, lady, I had a bad dream, all right. An absolute, total, living hell. Again, I was trying to go along with what she was telling me, but I couldn't. Besides, I wasn't asleep, so how could I have had a bad dream? She was in La La Land, and I was in Nutsoville, totally scared out of my jammies, and then some. But, Mum, I wasn't asleep. I was wide awake, and I could see someone at the window. It was the old man, and he had something in his hand, and he was trying to get into the room, I said, stuttering because I was so nervous. I could tell she was not listening at all. You're just imagining things again, Duane. There's no one out there that's going to get us, because we're just tourists, she said, as she giggled, and then went back to sleep. What did I just hear? Just tourists, I thought. What does that have to do with anything? Besides, what is a tourist? It would seem to me that the old guy already ate all the tourists that stayed here before us. My guess would be that he likes tourists like us. Suddenly, I realized what a tourist was, and that is someone who gets trapped here and never shows up where they are supposed to eventually be. None of what she said mattered anyhow. I already knew the old man was going to eat us. I kept thinking that he likes tourists because nobody will miss them. That was my guess. All of a sudden, I realized she didn't seem to care what happened to either of us. But me, on the other hand, I was still petrified, and it was no dream or swamp gas that I saw and heard. This was all so crazy. What was I doing here? I belong at the Pacific Ocean. I wanted to be back in my dreams and away from this place. Now I was at the point where I was so worn out from fright that I was really tired and had no more strength to stay awake, and then I fell asleep. All of a sudden, I became aware of the other side, where I was standing on a beach, pacing back and forth, wondering what was going on. I was still thinking about the old man and how he did what he did. I kept wondering how he moved around so mysteriously, and if that was him. I heard on the walkway while I was in bed. I was very puzzled and perplexed. Then, looking down the beach, I could see someone walking my way. I knew who it was. The man with the beard. He finally reached me and sat down on the sand in front of me. He started to laugh and then said, "How's your trip so far, Duane?" "Huh? How's the trip so far?" I replied quickly, rather excited and concerned, as I was lost with my jumbled thoughts for a good answer. He laughed and laughed. I really didn't think any of it was funny at all, but I did like to watch and hear him laugh. Then I began to loosen up and relax a little, as I wanted to ask the man a question. "What is going on at this place we are staying at?" I asked, rather bewildered as I looked at him. "You have been seeing ghosts," he replied as he said to me, "Ghosts." Then he laughed some more. "Really? Is there such a thing?" I asked, with the possibility of it being so, which bothered me even more. "Of course there is. You have seen the astral form of the old man wandering around at night. He has lived at that place all of his life, and he is very lonely. So he wants to know who is staying there," said the man, as he was still laughing a bit. I didn't understand what he was telling me, so I just kept talking to see if I would figure something out from what he was telling me. I somehow knew I had the challenge of remembering him as my adventure. Was the old man really talking with someone in his kitchen while I was looking through the window? I asked. Yes, he was talking to his dead mother, who had originally built the place. She had also been there all her life, while she had a physical body. She left her body years ago, and continues to stay very close to her son in her astral form. This is because he was all she had. He had no one else in his life, and so he became very attached to her, because he became very lonely as he grew older. Many people are like this in their physical life. As a person gets older, they forget about the adventure life is, and so they look to the past to comfort themselves, and then they become even more lost many times. The old man and his mother can communicate very well with each other, as they have no one else in their lives right now. He is actually harmless. He doesn't even know that his other self is roaming around at night. His physical body had gone into the next room, just like you saw, and then his astral form popped up. What you are experiencing is very common on the earth. A lot of people do not know what else there is beyond this life, and they have not prepared themselves for their passing over. So they allow themselves to get stuck in a grey zone between the physical and lower astral levels, he said. I was really pondering everything that he was telling me, even though I couldn't understand most of it. Then I realized something, that I didn't even know this man's name. "Sir," I asked, "what is your name?" He laughed and said to me, "You know me as Rebazar Tars, young Duane. We have been together for many lifetimes. You wanted the challenge, not to remember everything, as you came into this new body, because you didn't want the old ideas from the past to interfere with your new life now. This was a wise choice." "Really? I know you?" I asked. "Well, I am glad to know your name." "Sir, I still don't know my dad's name," I said, feeling a little lost. He laughed and said, "You will come to know everything you need to, young Duane, during this lifetime. You are in a new body, the one I brought you to. You will have the greatest adventure ever as you become more aware. I have been with you and keeping an eye on you in your dreams. When the time is right, you will know all." "Really? That was you?" "I faintly remember something, but it is all very blurry. Will Mum and I get out of the place we are in alive?" I asked. Again he laughed and said, "You are a funny boy. The old man will not eat you. You are perfectly safe, and I am with you always." "Oh boy," I said, with a bewilderment. "What you have told me sounds so creepy, but I like the part where you are with me, and I will be fine."